welcome back to my channel. Today's video is definitely going to be very different, something that I've never really talked about, and something that not a lot of people really know. And obviously it's hard to discuss, but I just feel like something that I need to get off my chest, and it's a learning experience. I also feel like a lot of women don't really talk about this topic, and once it happened to me, I didn't realize that a lot of women had gone through this as well. So I just feel like talking about it might make someone that has gone through it or is going through it make them feel a little bit better. So yeah, if you are interested in today's video, then please keep watching. So today's video is going to be kind of like a life update, what has been going on, where we've been, and stuff like that. I am currently 35 weeks pregnant. My due date is May the 2nd, and we are so excited. Baby Leo, he's going to be a junior, Leonardo de la Cruz Jr. So we are very excited for him to join our family and make us just that much better, that much more wholesome. But before him, we did have a miscarriage. I didn't really talk about it just because it's not something that I wanted to discuss. It's not something that, oh hey guys, my name is Jasmine, by the way, I had a miscarriage. You know, it's not something that you just bring up, and it's definitely hard. But yes, we did have a miscarriage, and I kind of want to discuss like the whole process, the emotional process, the physical process. But yeah, so first of all, obviously, I was supposed to start my period and I did not. So I remember I told my husband, I was like, let's go to the store and buy a pregnancy test. And he was like, you're not pregnant. I was like, I just need to make sure. We go get tested and I am pregnant. So I was always the type of person that was just not ready. I would always say, I don't want a baby. Hell no. Fuck them kids. Kids are annoying. You know, I was that person. And then I came out pregnant, and it was the most exciting thing ever. So that alone kind of changed my outlook on everything. Just being pregnant, that was just an amazing feeling. I was also the type of person that would make fun of people. So people would post pictures, and they would be 10 weeks pregnant, 11 weeks pregnant. They would post pictures of them holding their bellies, and I'd be like, there's not even a belly there. Like, what are you holding? Like, I was so negative. And then becoming pregnant, it's like, oh my gosh, like, you have something within you. Like, at that moment, I didn't understand. I didn't understand what moms or pregnant, women were experiencing, because I hadn't been pregnant before. So then when it happened to me, I had all of the joys that you can imagine, including the holding my belly at being 2 days pregnant. So immediately, the very next day, I found a Obgyn, and I called them and I made an appointment, and I started taking prenatal vitamins right away. So the whole process of the pregnancy was, I think 2 weeks after I called, I went to my appointment, and first of all, that experience was not good. I didn't know any better because this was my first pregnancy, my first time doing any of this, but it was just a bad experience. I show up, and we didn't have any insurance or anything like that, so everything that we paid for was out of pocket. very expensive. They were telling us about this fee and blood work and whatever. So I was expecting to have like a full exam, whatever, done. No. So I walk into the room and we sit down. I had peed in a cup, one of those little paper Dixie cups. So dumb. And it was at an actually really nice office, so I was expecting something completely different. But anyways, I pee in a cup and they dip something in there. They put it on there, on the counter. The doctor comes in and she's like, "Hey, I'm so and so. Nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, you're pregnant. Congratulations. When was your last period? So and so, blah blah blah." And she's like, "Okay, well, congrats, you're pregnant. Are you taking prenatal vitamins?" And I said yes. So I had a whole book of questions that I wanted to ask, and I had the actual bottle of the prenatal vitamins just so I can show it to her. And I showed it to her, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm taking these." So she looks at them, she's like, "Oh, okay, these are great." I was like, "Is there any other ones that you recommend?" She said those were fine. Okay. So she's like, "Okay, I'll see you back in 3 to 4 weeks." I was like, "Okay." And that was that. That was my appointment. I didn't have any blood work. I didn't have a sonogram. I didn't have anything done. Just pee in a cup. Tell me I'm pregnant. That's it. A few weeks later, I was about 11 weeks pregnant. And I remember I woke up and I went pee and I was spotting a little bit. So I called I called the doctor's office, and an on-call nurse gave me a call back, and she asked me a series of questions. She asked me if I was bleeding through a pad, like an actual pad, within an hour. My answer was no. She asked me a series of questions, and my answers were no to all of them. So she said, "Okay, just stay off your feet, elevate your feet, drink lots of liquids, drink lots of water, and hopefully everything will be okay. Now, if your symptoms get worse, then of course go to the emergency room." That was on a Saturday morning. Sunday morning, I woke up and again, I was bleeding, I was cramping, and all of the questions that she had asked me the day prior that I had answered no were now a yes. So of course I freaked out. The worst part was it was during the COVID shutdown. So when we went to the emergency room, my husband was not allowed to go in with me or anything like that. They drew my blood. They took me to a sonogram room. And they did my sonogram. My first sonogram that I had ever had done before, which I was freaking out because I didn't know it was vaginal. I thought it was, a belly one. But they showed me the heartbeat. The nurse showed me the baby's heartbeat. They had the volume, full blast. I was able to hear it. And of course, hearing that, seeing that, my reaction was, "Oh my gosh, the baby's okay. Like, there's a heartbeat. The baby's fine." They told me to change. They take me to a different room, and then a doctor comes in, and he explains to me that the baby's heartbeat was very low. I had not had a miscarriage yet, but I was going to. And my heart just broke. And then I think the worst part was it was on Father's Day. So I think it was like June 21st, I think, if I'm remembering right. It was Father's Day 2020. and I was just bleeding, and he sent me home with pain meds and stuff like that. And I came home and I just needed my time alone. So I remember I just went upstairs and I told my husband to just leave me alone for a little bit. Everyone's different. Some people need support, everyone's different. So I just wanted to be by myself for a little bit, kind of process it, grief, in privacy. And then I went ahead and I called my mom and I let her know what was happening. And my husband kind of forced me to get up and go to my parents' house just to have my parents' support, which at the time I didn't know I needed, but I'm so glad that we did it that way, because it happened, the actual miscarriage happened at my mom's house. And they made me so comfortable. My mom brought out, a blanket and a heating pad, and I didn't know I needed their company, if that makes sense. But the cramps were pretty bad. They were kind of like coming and going. And then I felt like a lot of pressure. So I was like, I think I'm just gonna walk. So I got up from the couch, and it was like a recliner kind. So I just kind of like scooted off. And I'm trying to walk, and then I got a major pain, excruciating pain. And I just bent over on the table, and I was like, ooh. So I went to the restroom, and I had a pad on because I was bleeding. And sure enough, I miscarried. Yeah. I think another hard part was the questions. Because we were so excited, we told, my parents, we told friends, we told my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my sister-in-law, we were excited. It was our first baby, and but the after questions were hard. Well, what did you do? Did you do anything different? Did you lift something heavy? Did you? And it's kind of like, for someone that has never had one, has never had gone through the experience, has never had, someone close to them go through the experience, they might not understand. And those were tough questions. Of course, after it happened, the very next day, which was a Monday, I called my Obgyn and I let her know the situation, what had happened. They made me an appointment for later that week. Still no sonogram. They didn't do a sonogram to make sure that everything had come out, just to make sure that everything was okay. No sonogram. I remember I was in the room with my husband, and instead of, like I said, I don't know. I guess that's what I needed. Sorry, there's a siren in the background. But I feel like because they see this all the time, they've become numb to it, and they don't realize that this is something that we're going through, So I remember sitting in the room, the doctor comes in, and she's like, what happened? And I'm just sitting there like, so she just told us not to give up. It wasn't anything we did. There was nothing wrong with me. But my question was, how do you know that there's nothing wrong with me? Like, you've never checked me. Like, how do you know these things? I was just over it. And then the way I am, I tend to be very aggressive, and I was just not, I just didn't want to have to go through that. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And we left. That was June. So my husband's birthday was in July, and we didn't do anything. I think we just went to dinner, and I guess he realized that I was kind of like in a funk. So he's like, we need to get out of here. And it was during COVID. So everything was closed. There was nothing that was open. So he's like, we need to get out of here. So we booked a trip to Las Vegas. We went August 1st. And in September, no, I'm a liar. The end of August, I was supposed to have my period, and I missed my period. So I was so scared, freaking out as usual, as you can expect. And I took a pregnancy test, and I was pregnant. So immediately I started looking up different Obgyns, and I had asked on Facebook if anyone had any Obgyn recommendations. And one of my old schoolmates messaged me, and she recommended the doctor that I'm going to now. I had no idea that she had also been through multiple miscarriages, and it was satisfying knowing that I had someone to talk to, knowing that it wasn't me that did something wrong. It wasn't anything that I did, anything that my husband and I did, because she already had, children, and then she still had, multiple miscarriages after having her children. So she's like, it's just something that happens, and she was definitely there when I had questions. So, you know who you are, honey. Thank you. But yeah, so immediately I contacted their office, and this doctor is amazing. They checked me. That this experience was way different. My first appointment, I go in there, they drew blood to make sure that my hormone levels were okay, and they did a vaginal sonogram to make sure that the baby's heartbeat was normal and all that stuff. And I was just like, I would hate to be that person that says what if, or I should have, or you know what I mean, but it's kind of hard not to do that to yourself. So fast forwarding from September till now, we are March 24th, 2021, and like I said, I am 35 weeks pregnant. So we are super duper excited. Healthy baby boy. He's a heifer. He is 5 pounds 5 ounces. He's a big boy. But we're super duper excited for his delivery, for him to be here, be a part of us, make us so much better. And so we're just super duper excited for that. I had been wanting to talk about my pregnancy process and stuff like that, but I felt like I had to clear my heart of my miscarriage, kind of not let go of it, but just be at peace with it before I talk about, my pregnancy now. And there's just so many videos that I'm so excited to do, just to kind of show you guys my experience, my pregnancy, my process, just all the pregnancy stuff. But yeah, that's it for today's video, you guys. I know today was a boring video, but I just felt like I needed to say it. I needed to talk about it, just to be at peace, with it. But anyways, if you have gone through this, just know you are not alone. Don't blame yourself. Don't give up. message me, send me comments. I will put my email at the bottom if y'all have any questions, anything at all. If you guys have just need to let it out, if you just need to talk to someone about it, I am here. Because I have officially gone through it, now I understand. Now I get it. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. I don't even know what the next video is going to be, but I'm just so excited to talk about my pregnancy, and I want to show you guys my nursery. So I'm going to try to cram all these videos within the next few weeks because he's almost here. But alright, you guys, I will see you in the next video.